What's up, man?
Bill, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Where you
Welcome
been?
back. I've been everywhere.
I know. We've been in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I went fishing first, and then 7.5 hour drive.
Mm-hmm. It's not like you drove. It's not like you drove the boat
In the
either.
car. I didn't drive the boat.
No. You did?
Thank God.
Oh, geez. Yeah, no.
That's pretty funny. I got to tell you that quick one. So we get there, and we're gonna go fishing that night, and because we always like to fish it. It's a cooler, and it's pretty cool. You know, go out on a boat, drink some beers, smoke cigars, listen to music, and hopefully a fish will run into the line. Anyhow, my buddy Wyatt's got what we call a skinny boat. 5 inches of water it'll run in. It's great for fishing the flats.
Okay.
We're out there fishing, and we catch 2 fish. My buddy Brent caught a redfish, which was a little smaller than mine. Mine was the biggest redfish of the day. And so we get done, and it's getting late, so we're going to go back and eat. So Wyatt says, all right, everybody hold on. I got to gun it to get up on plane.
You got a what?
Got to gun the boat to get up on plane.
Oh, okay. Right? I thought you said I got a gun on the boat to get on the plane. I'm like, wait.
No. So we're, everybody sits down, and the way the boats are set, it's a Mayak, 26 foot Mayak, nice boat. It's got a deck in the front, a little deck in the front you can fish off of. Then the boat's got a small sidewall, big cooler, a step, and then a seat. So my buddy Joey's sitting on the seat, Brent's sitting on the cooler. I'm in the chair next to the captain, and we're going to take off. We gun it. We go about 25, 30 yards, and he slams it on the bottom of grounds the boat at full tilt, right? So I go forward, I bang my knee a little bit. Joey goes flying off the seat, and I look up, and Brent's in the water. He's holding his beer up. Now, when I say in the water, he's in 3 inches of water. It's not like he's in water.
Yeah,
right?
No, it probably hurt, though.
Well, it hurt him a little bit because he slid across the whole front of the deck. He went off the cooler off the front and holds his beer up. And I go, Brent's in the water. And he looks up, and thank God the boat stopped. I mean, it had to stop. So Wyatt's answer was, I missed it. I missed where the spot was by about 5 feet. It was a little deeper, 5 feet to the left. I said, no, you didn't. You missed it by 2 inches. Because in 5 inches of water, we were good. We were in 3 inches of water. So that was the exciting first night.
So an accident, basically.
Yeah, basically. But ironically, during the day, Wyatt made a point of telling us how he never stuck the boat since he's had it.
Yeah, he just jinxed himself, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Come on, Wyatt. You had one job.
He had one job.
Drive the boat.
Drive the boat, and don't throw anybody into the water. But then the next day we had we fished 2 days, and then that third day we had the drive. Oh, nice. 7.5 hour drive. So it was pretty cool.
Baton Rouge was something else. Nationals, huh?
It was pretty exciting. I do have to tell everybody the story. So we're driving, and Nick gets in at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we got, we're not going to get in until like 4:30, maybe 4 o'clock, 4:30. So I called Nick up, and I said, Nick, listen, try to find a place to eat. Scout around and find some pretty nice places to eat.
Simple enough.
Simple enough, right? So that night we went to the steakhouse.
Yeah.
Right. But the next day we're going to have barbecue. We're going to have lunch. And Nick says, let's, I scouted around. We're going to go to this great barbecue place. And the place was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's called Hannah's.
Hannah Q's.
Hannah Q's. Is that what it was?
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Hannah's. So I said, Nick, how'd you find this place? Now, most people use traditional apps to find restaurants.
Yeah. Whether Google, Yelp, all that stuff.
Yelp.
Sure.
Ask guys at the convention center because they're all there they live there. Not Nick.
They're all tourists.
Nick goes on a dating app to ask the women on the dating app. I'm assuming they were.
Yeah. Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Okay. You can't be. You have to be careful nowadays when you say that. I wouldn't want to assume anything, Nick. But no, he goes on a dating app and comes up with this Hannah's, which was fantastic.
Yeah, it sure was.
And the people were great in there. So we have lunch there, and as we're leaving, Nick's outside talking to one of the other guys, and I said to the lady, she goes, "Well, how'd you guys hear about us?" So I told her that Nick went on a dating app and was recommended, and the lady said, "He's a dumbass."
Not really, because we ended up there.
Twice. We went back the next day.
Well, I know exactly. So it was good.
No, it was really
You were
good.
telling all
It
your
was really good.
friends too.
I told everybody how good it was.
Yeah.
And then the next night, he found a nice place. It was called the Capitol Cafe. Is that what it
Capital
was?
City Grill. Yeah.
Capital City Grill. And that
Yeah.
place was good too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he
yeah,
did a
yeah.
good job, but it was most unconventional way to find places to eat, go on a dating. So what I really assessed from this is that Nick uses women for food.
I use them
That's
for
it.
recommendations for food. It's not like she bought our barbecue, Phil.
No, but you know,
All I did was put on there on my profile asking for, suggestions. I'm in town till Saturday. I need the best food in town. And then look what happened.
And look what happened.
We got the best food in town. And you were crying the entire time we were driving there, the 3 miles it took to get there. You're like, what neighborhood is this in?
Well,
is this going to
I
be
don't
any
know
good?
the area.
Oh.
You're driving around neighborhoods.
Yeah. What was the other comment? Like, oh, this is going to be like fried chicken. It's going to taste like fried chicken or
I didn't
something.
say that. That was somebody
Yeah.
else said that. I didn't say
Yeah.
that. I told you did a great job.
Because I know how Texas people get snobby about their barbecue, and they say, "Oh,
Barbecue,
Louisiana don't know how to do barbecue." That's pretty much how it came out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
but that was a great place. It was really good. But that's how he found the restaurant. So a tip to those that want to use a dating app. And if you do that and you have a problem, and either your girlfriend or wife says something, just say we're looking for a restaurant.
It's the ultimate cover.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some housekeeping. Yeah.
Yeah, put the woo box up. Everybody knows how that works. You put your name in the woo box, and somewhere in about an hour or so, Nick will pick a name. He'll spin the wheel. If your name comes up, you have 90 seconds to identify yourself, and then you'll get a spin. If you don't like the spin, we'll let you spin again. And on the wheel is the whammy. Now I'm up for renaming the whammy to the Miguel in honor of.
Hey Miguel, I hope you got your selfie video that I took with.
He's a legend among those guys from New York.
So
that's
funny.
The first thing they came up to us and said. Miguel still talks about how he got whammy.
The Lizzo brothers, right?
Yeah, Jeff and James, Jimmy.
Yeah.
But the best part about it, Miguel, is that had you have not lost, and you were just a simple winner like everybody else was,
you
have notoriety.
Yeah, nobody would care.
No notoriety.
Let's
do a practice spin. I'm going to go at whammy.
I'm going
in honor of Miguel.
I'm going whammy.
Well, we're both going whammy.
I'm going whammy.
Here's a practice spin.
Oh, here it comes.
Here it comes.
Oh, new ball.
New ball. Unfortunately.
See, that's the funny part is it's right next to new ball. So he was so close to getting a new ball.
That's right. But anyhow, I think we call it Miguel Whammy from now on.
That's right.
So anyway, we have a special guest today. We're not revealing who it is. Two of them.
We're going to be bringing them on here in a minute or so.
Yeah. And then we have new balls.
Yeah, we did. We announced quite a bit. We're only going to talk about a select few.
That's right.
But we will talk about new bowling balls later on the show.
Right. That's right. I have some news.
News?
A little bit of an editorial.
Hold on then.
You want to do...
It's the striking news. Bowling news and views from around the world with your hosts, Brunsnick and Phil Cardinelli. It's the striking news.
So this weekend, actually next week on Monday, is Bowl Expo.
Hey, that's right. It starts up.
Yeah, it's up in the Gaylord National Resort Convention Center in Maryland. The Pro Shop Day is Monday at AMF Marlow Heights. The demo is from 1 to 5, and you come down if you're in the area, and you can come down, or if you're going to be at Expo, make sure you come to the Pro Shop Day.
Come say
And
hi to
then
Phil.
July 1st, well, yeah, come and say hello. July 1st, and on Tuesday, the trade show from 11 to 4. And July 2nd, on Wednesday, the trade show is from 11 to 4.
Nice.
It's a pretty big deal. And if you're in town, make sure you come by and say hello. And we'll chat for a little while. So that's part of the news. We did nationals this week. And, thank God for the governing body and the PBA for giving us all of the news we need every week. So we go to nationals.
They should be a title sponsor.
Exactly, right? And they were brutal. That's fine. They're going to be tough. But here's the problem I have. We were told, I guess Chad made the comment that people like to bowl on challenging conditions. And I don't have a problem with that, challenging condition. But he said they do, and that's why his entries are up. So my question is, if they were a little bit easier, would people not bowl?
Right. That's a legitimate question.
Isn't it?
And I follow it up with, okay, since this is probably the toughest team pattern they've probably ever put out.
Right.
Then next year in Reno, entries should be way up then.
Absolutely. They should have to add dates and times because it's going to be overflowing.
Right.
And if the pattern was a bit more playable, and they have expert lane men who design that pattern, couldn't they make them a little more playable and have it a little less brutal? So do people go to the nationals because of the locations? Reno, Vegas, somewhere else. Reno, Vegas, somewhere else.
Yeah.
So is that what they do? Do you go there because your friends go?
Maybe the somewhere else is where they get the most entries.
I'd have to see. We have to go back and look, right? Maybe. I don't know. Camaraderie. Is it a vacation for a lot of people? So all of these things do not matter what the lane pattern is. No. Camaraderie, vacation. What's the reason that people go? I don't think they go there because they want to bowl on a tough shot.
No. And I'm all fine with competitive, fair lane conditions.
Yeah. Right.
But if your goal is to have, an Eagle winner averaging 220 as a team, then okay. I mean, that's a lot. I mean,
right.
It's not going to get there. I don't even know what's leading right now, but it's probably not 220, average.
Is it almost 3,200? 31 and change?
3,300 maybe, 32?
No. I think it's 32 something.
I don't even know. But
it's unattainable for me.
You could have had 15 frames that have been unattainable.
Exactly right. So here's the other problem we run into now. We had a group. We had a nice sized group, right? I think we had 14 teams.
Yeah.
The way their squad times are, we're shut out for next year.
Right. Yeah. We're going to figure that out.
With 14 teams, we cannot get any preferential squad times, no matter how early we go, because it goes by group, size of your group.
And it's not like they don't have 80 lanes to work with next year.
Exactly. So I went and looked this morning for a little while, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of the team events you can get, there's a couple of 11:45s or whatever it is, and there's some 7:45s, or all 7:45s.
Yeah.
And a couple of 11:45s for team in the morning, 11:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
7:45 in that. That's fine.
Either one would be fine.
Absolutely.
Doubles and singles.
The only doubles and singles that are available are 11:15 at night.
Cool.
Now,
you know what we should do?
Have our own tournament?
No. Just bowl them back to back, same day. Can we do that?
No, because it's all the same day.
No,
Teams
I know.
are one day.
No, I know, but you can't bowl team at 7:45 and then bowl the doubles event right after that.
No, because when you look at it, it says select single doubles next day.
Oh,
it won't let you do that.
Technically, you are bowling the next day. You're bowling majority
of
the
same day. Yeah, exactly.
That's
right?
Nuts. No,
it's crazy, and we have a big group.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're gonna do. It's crazy.
Break some legs. You guys are New Yorkers. Figure it out.
Yeah, I have no connect. I mean, I thought, you know what? When Bobby Bruss did it, the booth, our the guy that runs a booth for us, the Brunswick booth. You know, we had 4, 6, 8 teams, and we had good selection times.
Not no more.
And no, then what would happen is he said, "Let's join the other group because that'll give us more time." And we did, and we got what we wanted this year. They're gone already
That's crazy.
for next year. It's nuts,
I'm
and it's just the way the squads are set up.
I'm just along for the ride. You know that.
Yeah, well,
I just bring my talent and
yeah, you
my
brought your talent.
personality.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your purple up the twig. That was your mantra. You have a shirt on that says it. What was the deal?
It wasn't great the first day at all.
What does that mean by not great?
I couldn't get it to slow down properly. So that's the main thing with your thing. You got to get to slow down. And out there, anywhere outside of 5, I couldn't get it to slow down properly.
Okay.
Now, I didn't want to slow down and try to make it work. So I just got in with everybody with resin and tried to play, the track and shim and forward roll and all that stuff. Yeah. It was a lost cause. I only shot like 515 in team, something like that. But grinded out like 180 something the first game. 180 the next game playing resin. So I probably would have been fine if I would have stayed out there and just grinded out spares, but it's what it is. But day 2 was excellent. I had a rough first game because I was the only one out there and they were still a little juiced. But once they broke down, I don't think I had one game under 200. I had 190. That was my low game for the next 5.
You both good the next day.
So and 640 in team.
Yeah. I threw purple up the twig for I didn't throw it the first game, which was dumb. I tried to make something else work. And then I went out with the purple up the twig and I shot 190. I think I shot the next 2 games. Mm-hmm. But then what happened, because some stupid lefty on my pair was throwing urethane, the shot got ugly. It was me. and being by myself with that, it started to hook early. And I couldn't move in and carry. So, I start the next game out. I think I had a double. Then I had 7-pin, 7-10, 10-pin, 7-pin. Then I moved and then the game went south on me.
Nice.
So it just got ugly.
It was tough, that's for sure. But I did enjoy myself out there, and I did meet a lot of people that came up to me and wanted pictures and all that stuff. So it was kind of cool to be recognized and say hey to everybody and meet people. And
I paid those people to go up and say hello to him. I was giving dollars out. People.
How much were you out of pocket? You must
have about $150 by the time.
I was gonna say,
it was expensive.
Oh wow.
Have people tell you.
Speaking of people visiting, we actually have guests on the show today. Like we don't do guests. I think that's one of our mantras on this show.
I think we don't do them well is what the problem is. We do guests, but we don't do them well.
Right. We've kind of adopted Steve, Stevie Fresh. Kind of our third co-host once in a while.
Right.
That actually talks some sense and talks some actual bowling knowledge, not just fluff like we like to do.
That's right.
But I want to give a hint to everybody, and I got this picture.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's a picture I've had on my desk for a long time. I think Ron Addison gave me this photo when he retired, so that kind of dates back quite a bit. But here's the hint: it's going to be one of these 6 people are going to be on the show today as a guest. And let me just throw out the spoiler: it's not Chris Barnes. Okay?
Why not?
It's not Chris Barnes. Couldn't get him. So it is one of these 6. Any guesses in the chat which one it's going to be?
Some guesses.
Someone say PB3, not Barnes, Fagan. Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
Could be Mika. He could be joining us from PBA 50 tour. I don't know.
That's right. Or who's the lady?
That's Judy Sutar.
Oh.
All right.
Not Judy.
All right. We got some guesses in there. Are we ready for the reveal? Let me get this.
Here we go. Who is it?
Picture out of here. All right. Let's bring them on. Mike Fagan, Mike Flanagan. What's up, gentlemen? Mike and Mike.
Hey, Mike. Isn't that like a show in the morning, Mike and Mike?
Yeah, I think it was a sports show, wasn't it?
It was. Exactly right.
They're off the air now, and we're on. That's it.
We were talking before the show that Mike's got the better boom mic arm. It feels like, why don't we have one of those? It's like, well,
can't afford it.
We're not on his level, and we couldn't afford it. It wasn't in the budget.
Yeah, you know why? Because you gave away too many 3-ball arsenals over the last year as the gimme, the free balls.
I spent so much time rigging that wheel for our fans, and now you're putting it against me here.
Yeah, he was killing me.
Blew
my budget. Thank God for the whammy. At least we got some money back.
That's true. We
got to see Mike last weekend at the at Nationals. Yeah. It was great. I hadn't seen Mike in a long time. He looks great. He's doing well.
Still throws it
thanks,
great.
Phil.
So you said you hadn't bowled in how long, Mike?
I took my balls out of a box that had been shipped home from Nationals in 2021, changed some grips, and went to Nationals in 2025.
So let me ask you a question.
And it went about that well.
looking back on this decision to bowl, come out of retirement per se, would you say that this was the right stop to do it at? Do you look back and say, you know what, that was a great decision? Did you ship them back, or did you just leave them at the pro shop?
I had some second thoughts about bringing them back. Yeah, no, I did bring them back just in case, but I don't know if they'll see the light of day for a while.
But it was good seeing a lot of the guys
that's exactly why I did it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I do it every year. It's just
I hadn't seen some of those guys in New York in 15 years. I mean, I moved out of New York in 2010. Right. Yeah. It might even been before that. So some people I hadn't seen in 20 years. And it was good to see everybody. It was fun.
And of course, everybody knows Mike Flanagan, the king of stream. Thank you for being here as well.
Yeah. Hey, we've been making the rounds, and I know Fagan is the highlight guest. I'm just here with no responsibilities whatsoever.
Yeah, well, Nick feels the same way on this show.
Yeah, I'm right with you. So if Phil want to take over, fellow New Yorkers want to shoot the proverbial, go ahead.
I would like to come on, though, for a second and commend you guys for your continuance of doing this podcast all the time. It's very entertaining. I try to tune in when I can, and I know that it seems like a goof off session, but there's a lot of work that goes into this, and the knowledge that you guys bring from your brands, being in those meetings and knowing everything that's going on. As a fan of bowling and a fan of your products, what you guys do, even though you kind of goof off and whatnot, you bring so much knowledge to bowling. And you guys need to keep doing it. And I'm really happy that you guys were able to build this show, and you guys are having fun with it. And I know you got a lot of loyal listeners and watchers, and just keep doing it, because I think it does make a big difference. So congratulations on doing this for so many years now, or however long you've been doing it. But it's been a while. So congratulations.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Mike. Over 2 years. Is that what we're at? 2 years? Yeah, we're gonna keep doing it until we get canceled. Until I get the little tap on my shoulder at work, and from like BG or Corey or Bugsy or somebody. Someone's like, "Hey, can we have a little talk?" And then he'll be, and then Phil will be patched in through the phone. And it's like, all right, enough's enough. We're gonna have the board members of the governing bodies on the other line. It's like, okay, everybody say you're sorry.
Nick said to me, "Let's do a podcast every week." I said, "What? Every week?"
Yeah.
I'm going to do this every week. What are we going to talk about?
We'll figure out something.
We're like
tender dates.
We're like Seinfeld. It's a show about nothing.
Yeah, tender dates and food recommendations with a leg lamp and whatever you got in the gold Texas cup, Phil.
He still has no idea where that leg lamp came from. It showed up one day. He even called the company and trying to find who ordered it, where did it come, who paid for this. It wasn't me. Right. No idea. It just showed up because he refuses to watch A Christmas Story. He's never seen that movie. Show. Ever.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you a story about it. Here's my story.
You don't know Fragile?
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't know what that is. Here's the deal. Okay, so tell me about The Christmas Story. So you got a kid that gets bullied. His father doesn't like him, and he asks for a gun. It sounds like something that's going to be on CNN in about a week. Doesn't it? I mean, think about it. That's the story. I could watch the news and get that.
You never wanted a BB gun growing up, Phil?
No, I lived in Brooklyn.
Oh my gosh.
BB gun. What's that gonna do?
You grew up soft.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I grew up in East New York. Yeah, that's it. A BB gun. A what? If I went to my father then and said, I want a BB gun, he would go, what? What do you do with a BB gun? What am I going to shoot?
Birds.
Where am I going to shoot it?
Wherever you want. You're from East New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, we have fun doing the show, and we do try to enlighten people at times, but we want to make it fun. We have a lot of good followers, which we really appreciate. Well, let's talk about what you guys are doing.
Yeah, something big.
Yes. So Mike and I, after we had a little podcast tour that we've been doing, and Mike liked to bring up that him and I met, I think, through AOL Messenger back in the mid '90s. And, we're kind of bringing the band back together with, this year, the 2025 version of AOL Messenger. So
what was your original AOL Messenger? What was your original AOL name?
Hey, I want to answer this for Mike. I remember it. Rip D Rack.
Rip D Rack.
That's what it was.
I remember my first one. I was into cars, so it was DC Sport LXI because I had a Honda Accord that I thought was so cool. So, and I got an exhaust on it. And man, DC Sport LXI. I didn't have any cool bowling ones like that. Rip D Rack.
Rip D Rack.
I was, I wasn't driving, so it was pre-licensed for me. I didn't have anything else to go on.
Phil, did you have AOL?
I
don't think I did.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, we're getting the band back together. We're excited. We're putting on the New Mexico Open this August. We're looking for competitive bowlers to come out, or people who just want to have a good time and get together with some friends and play in a competitive environment. This tournament's been going on for 20 years. Wow. I recently took over as proprietor of 10 Pins and More in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, and we're keeping it going, man. We're looking forward to putting on a great event this August. We just had Brunswick come on as our title sponsor, so we're really excited about that. And they're going to be contributing to our prize fund. They're going to be contributing some bowling balls for us as well. So we're excited to put this thing on and see how big we can make it.
And when is it?
August 14th. It's
right there.
Right. Yeah. There.
He doesn't see dirt.
There it is. Okay.
Through the 17th.
Please excuse Phil. He's 70-something years old.
I got it. I see. Oh, there it is.
First place, $10,000.
$10,000.
We're gonna
try. Phil, you had one. Are you not even looking at Fagan while you're doing this?
What the hell?
He just has himself up with the whole full screen. Like
that's it. I'm by myself. That's it. Why do I need that? Wait.
Tell you what, if you put out a short pattern, I will come out for it. How about that?
So why don't you go, Nick?
If they put out a short pattern, I don't know.
No, it's a challenging pattern. It's a challenging pattern.
Oh no, I want
it. It will be a challenging pattern, that's for sure. We're testing patterns right now. We've got people high up in the bowling world sending us patterns. We're testing them. We're trying to get a good challenge, not quite as egregious as USBC team event, but something that we can actually throw a couple doubles on, and feel good about.
Jeez. His next question is going to be like, "Hey, what state is that in?
What state is the New Mexico Open in?"
His next question is like, "Wait, there's a New Mexico?"
We hadn't changed the name of it.
I thought we renamed all those already.
I went fishing last week in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh my god!
So tell me more about your bowling center.
Yeah, so very traditional bowling center, 24 lanes, very much driven by league and tournament bowlers. I see it as a bit of a diamond in the rough. It's a center that needs some modernization, and we're going to be working with the folks at Brunswick to put in new pin spotters, new scoring, new point of sale systems. We're working with vendors on new arcade games. So we're going to be revamping this building, and we still want to keep the traditional bowlers happy. We still want to put together great leagues and great tournaments, and we're excited about all the possibilities.
And I know you mentioned to me when we were out at Baton Rouge that about string pin.
I have decided to go string pin. We are this center has been hard up to. The machines haven't run very well in a long time, and I think we've lost some bowlers because of it. They are A2s from the 1960s, or Japanese A2s from the 1960s. This bowling center opened in the 80s, so they weren't even new when the center opened.
Right.
And it's time. They're way past their usable life, and it's time to make a change. So, I mean, I think if this were 10 years ago, obviously I wouldn't be putting in string pins, but I mean, the technological advances that have come about in the last 5 to 10 years with these machines and the engineering and how streamlined they are and how seamless they are. For me, bowling on them, I think the playability is fantastic compared to free fall machines. So I don't think anybody's going to lose there. And, it's just going to make for a better experience, because right now they're getting a lot of breakdowns, a lot of people having to change pairs. They don't even have, right now in our center, we can't really do a five-man league because it just, it could take 4 hours. Lanes are going to break down. It's just inevitable.
Yeah, Phil believes that the USBC Open Championship in, was it South Carolina, in a couple of years? Yeah. He believes that that's going to be debuted for string. He thinks that that's going to be the time when the USBC decides, hey, we're going to try this string pin out in the Open Championship.
Yeah, just make it even tougher. Let's make string pin, and then make the pattern impossible to hit that pin.
Yeah. Let's just, well, maybe they make them easier now just to get people in there and be like, hey, we love strings. I never shot higher in my life.
String pin makes scores go up.
This is their 5-year plan, Phil. I just figured it out.
You did, right?
Make it impossible for like 4 years straight. Nobody can hit the broadside of a barn. You got former major player of the years and major champions can't put a double together, and now you're going to put strings out with the walled shot, and people are going to shoot 3,700, and people are going to be like, string pins are great. I struck more than I ever have in my life.
That's right.
Man.
So let's go back to your tournament for a second. I have one more question. You're going to stream that, obviously, live stream it.
That is why Mr. Flanagan is here, the other MFer in the room. Yeah,
there you go, the other MFer.
Yeah, this is two MFers doing work to grow the sport of bowling, according to one of the YouTube comments that was on the live stream we did the other night on Inside Bowling. So yeah. So I like to tell the Dave and Buster's story. Okay, you guys understand how Dave and Buster's started? There was a guy named Dave and a guy named Buster that were in a strip mall. One had an arcade, one had a food place, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And their customers would come and either play and then eat, or eat and then play, right? And then they knocked the wall down and decided to call it Dave and Buster's, and you know where they're at now. So many moons ago, I partnered with a guy by the name of Jerry Anderson here in St. Louis on a tournament called the Holiday Doubles that had about 30 teams in the event. And that's Dave and Buster's. I streamed it, promoted the event. Jerry ran the event, okay? And then I got involved to help run the event as well, and Jerry's part of my team now. Well, now we have 7 squads, 360-something teams. It's insane, right? So Mike and I have partnered up to create another one of those sorts of situations where I get to promote it, use Inside Bowling, stream it to the folks that we stream to. We're about to go to 100,000 subs. We're at 98,000 now on Inside Bowling. Very proud of that. And we are going to try to drive as many people to this event as possible and create an environment similar to what we used to do with InsideBowling.com Opens, which was a singles event, which I moved away to Utah, and I didn't really keep the event going as the tournament market was saturated. But as I explained, if this was Monopoly, and I'm sure you guys like to play Monopoly, I've watched this show before. You guys got those.
That's probably against that game too. It's too traditional.
In your wheelhouse. But, on a Monopoly board of tournaments, the New Mexico Open is in the greens, right? This is a very expensive tournament if you were going to buy it on a Monopoly board. This is a staple. It's a great event. Right. So we have the opportunity at Inside Bowling, and we're very happy to have the opportunity to be involved with Mike now that he's purchased the center and work together to build this to be the biggest and best that it's ever been. Steve Mackey and his team have done a tremendous job. We've all noticed that over the years. But sometimes things have to change. People move on, retire, sold the center to Fagan. And Fagan, instead of blowing this thing up and saying, I don't want to do it anymore, and I want to have open play and be very profitable that weekend, he's like, no, I want to go ahead and have this event, make it bigger and better. Right. He gave me a call. We're partnering, and that's where we're at.
That's pretty cool.
Did that tournament influence the purchase decision whatsoever on the center? Did that play any kind of role in the decision?
I mean, I think the history that this center has, the New Mexico Open adds to that. I mean, it's been historically known as a very, very cemented league and tournament house. It's, known throughout the Albuquerque metro area as one of the premier tournament houses. And obviously with the New Mexico Open, it makes it the premier tournament house in the state of New Mexico. So, I mean, yeah, I think that name recognition, that brand kind of adds value. And it certainly is along the lines of what I'm trying to do as well, right? I'm trying to maintain, I think my theory, my thesis about a lot of these bowling centers is that there is enough time in the day to go out and make your money, doing parties and events and arcade and things like that. But there's also enough hours in the day to have your competitive leagues and tournaments. And I don't think you necessarily have to choose between them. You just have to make sure that, the calendar is aligned. So I want to keep everything going. I'm not going to shun, I don't want to shun the open play bowler. I don't want to shun the league bowler. I want to make sure that everybody has their place and everybody's welcome at 10 pins.
The cool thing about tournaments like that, I mean, you go back, Mike, and you grew up on Long Island. When Lustig had his tournaments and he had the Vera Papa and all of those tournaments, people come from everywhere to bowl those things. They were pretty cool. The Garden City Bowl was a historic place. And people would look for that every year. It was the same crowd would show up. And the same thing with the High Roller when it was out in Vegas. People would just look for that tournament every year. I think that's a great thing, to try to grow something like that. I wish you all the luck with that one, especially. I'm glad to see you doing it. One thing I will mention, I talked to Mike a little bit before the show we came on, and Mike, he's from the island, so I always take a special interest in bowlers that come out of Long Island, even though we are ions apart in age. But one of the things I was proud to see Mike do was that he recognized the bowling career the way it was, and then he went on and got an education and became a businessman. And I think that's a model that today's bowlers sort of got away from, maybe not even try to pursue. They think bowling is it for the rest of their lives, and there's a business side of it. And you can stay in the business that you love. Like in my case, I went to school and I was a baseball player, became a bowler, and then realized that I liked the business side of bowling. And what I found out over the years is I just couldn't hold a job. I've had 5 companies, so it's because
yeah, your LinkedIn page, if you had one, Phil, would be a nightmare.
It would be a nightmare. Yeah, had it, sold it, started it, sold it, sold it.
Yeah. How do you work for 8 companies, but you're in the same building?
Those are called serial founders nowadays. They spin everything nowadays. That's a serial founder, Phil. That's a feather in your cap.
Is that good? Is that a good thing?
That's a good thing. I'm
very proud.
Go out I'm very raise some money.
Yeah, Phil's really most excited for his next venture in life, though. You guys don't know about this, but Walmart greeter. That's his next road. That's going to be when he's finally done with bowling. And he's hanging up. Yeah, right. Hey, welcome to Walmart.
I'm such a person.
Yeah, real inviting. Hey, enjoy yourself.
I'm a humanitarian. Yeah, right.
Yeah, don't get the pasta sauce. It's trash.
Exactly. But again, on a serious note, I'm really proud of Mike for doing that. It's when he left bowling and improved his education, and then got into the business world, it's fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. So I'm going to wish you all the luck in the world, and we're here to help. Anything we can do to help you guys.
One of the few smart ones, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't know Mike, the other Mike, that well. We've met once or twice, I think. But I'm sure you guys will do well together.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Phil. Appreciate that rave review. Really do.
He gave you the best.
I had to dig deep. I had to dig deep for that.
Well, you're wearing a shirt that we made here at my office, so I'm kind of linked to you just through the shirt today. But we want to thank Brunswick for wanting to be part of this event. Like, this is a big deal. And then to come on your show here, you guys don't do guests very often. We understand.
We're not good at guests.
Yeah, we understand that this is this is kind of out of the norm, just to even have us on the show and to want to be involved. And Mike has made a nice sale there with Brunswick. He's going to be spending a lot of money with Brunswick, but there's a reason why he chose Brunswick, right? Because he wants his facility to have the very best things for his customers. So I just wanted to let everybody know, one of the things I like to mention is, Mike and I plan on working together for a long period of time. This is not just a one-off. This is something that, I've made a commitment to for multiple years to go. And one thing that we did gloss over, because we got to talking and everything, is I can't run the tournament as Inside Bowling and stream it. I tried that for a couple of years at the IB Open. It just doesn't work. So I have gotten someone from my tournament staff in the past, back in 2010, who has gone on to do a lot of great things in the industry, and that's Dennis Hacker, who's the USBC president. He's our tournament director for this event, and he's been running tournaments forever.
Right.
Yeah, so he'll be there on site, representing Inside Bowling and himself to run the event, and I'll be doing the streaming, and Fagan will be running the center. But all three of us are going to be working together. Fagan's going to spend some time in the booth. Dennis Hacker might come into the booth for a little bit. I might be putting scores in on the iPad up in the booth for the lanes that are right in front of the booth. Like, we're really going to work this thing together as a team. And it's going to be a family environment, everybody's coming there to win money and whatnot, but the events that we're part of, everybody likes going to it because they like seeing one another and being able to reminisce or just chit chat about different things and stuff like that. So we're also going to be offering some Brunswick specials, because that's one thing we can do on Inside Bowling, is we can ask the consumer to support the event. We can activate your brands by running T-shirt specials, even some ball products that are not under MRP anymore. So that weekend, to those that can't even make it out, we encourage you to tune into the stream and take advantage of some of the offers that Brunswick has available also that weekend.
Fantastic. I think Nick should go to the tournament and then be like on lane guy walking around.
Give me a microphone with the wide world of sports, the ABC Sports banner in the background there. I think it's fantastic.
And now to you, Nick, on 17. He'd be standing there in like rain gear, like that guy Joe Cantori, whatever, trying to weather the storm.
I'm gonna be like Ollie from Family Guy. It's like, hey, we're going in a sideline reporter with Ollie. It's like, Ollie, how's it going down there? He's going to strike. Thank you, Ollie. Yeah.
Well, I think we should say this, Nick. First of all, you're always welcome. Like, if you guys decided that Nick, you can make it out on your own dime, having Brunswick help. I don't want to get you in trouble or anything here, but if you could come to the event and want to be with us and be in the booth and talk about your products and all those sorts of things, you're more than welcome to come. Phil, you as well. I don't know if you want to go there, but we would love to have you guys there. That's an open invitation to you guys or anybody within your company.
It's August 14th to the 17th. It's in New Mexico.
Right there.
And you do not need a passport to get there, Phil.
It's over there.
Over there. I see it.
But the other thing I wanted to say is Nick is the OG YouTuber. Like, Nick had YouTube videos. He had vlogs before there were vlogs from the mini eliminator tournaments, back when he was like basically trying to do everything he could to get Brunswick to recognize him, calling himself Brunsnick. What he has done to be able to carve out a job, his dream job, that's also to be commended. I don't know how often you guys talk about that, but that's a big deal.
It's amazing that he was able to do that on such little talent to maintain the job that he got. It's just unbelievable.
It really amazes me every day. You know how I sleep at night knowing that is so well. I'm on a Posturepedic. I got one of those nice air pillows. It's like
a 12.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
no, Nick is great. That's why we work so well together, and he helps me a lot because I have no idea what I'm doing with this.
He really has zero clue. Like getting this thing going to figure out his mic from day one or anything. I tell him, don't even touch your laptop when you leave. Like, just don't touch anything because you're just gonna screw it up, and we're gonna have to figure out everything again. And that's what I deal with, and that's what nobody talks about except for me.
I gotta
is
tell
the
you
headache. I have to do Geek Squad for the senior community here, and nobody knows how hard that is. So
I'm gonna make you guys laugh with a quick story about that, and then we'll get into some other things. But when I first got hooked up with Brunswick, I don't know if I've ever told the story on the podcast before, but I got hooked up with Brunswick, and we're gonna switch everything over. So Friday they say you're out of no more emails, you got nothing. Monday we're gonna turn you on the Brunswick system. Everything will work out great. It's okay. So Monday comes, and I get to the office, and I get on the computer and I call the office and they say, okay, go to the Facebook page. So I put the Facebook page on. I'm on the phone with the guy. And he goes, did you like it? I go, yeah, it looks great. He says, did you like the page? I said, I'm telling you, you did a good job. It looks fantastic. He says, you got to like it. I said, I do like it. It's like a solo movie. So nothing's working. In the meantime, my emails are going off like crazy, and I'm sitting there with the guy on the phone. So the guy says to me, you got to like the page. I said, listen, I love the page. He goes, give me your email address. So I give him the email address. Also, I see the arrow on my screen move and hits the like button.
That's literally what it takes. That's literally what it takes for stuff to work.
Now the guy's getting pissy with me, right? He's getting pissy with me.
Rightfully so.
So I said to him, do you bowl? He goes, yeah, I bowl. I said, when the heads break down, do you move in or you ball up? He goes, huh? I go, exactly.
Good one. Well, Mike, I thank you. One M effort to another. I don't want to split out the words there, but appreciate the kind words. You're going to hit 100K soon, and that is pretty much unheard of in the bowling community. You're going to get your cool YouTube award, the silver. I think that's silver, right? You get the silver.
Yeah, the play button. Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah.
That's going to be, and you've done it organically. Yeah, that's a huge accomplishment. I mean, 100,000 organically. There's people out there with a lot of subscribers that are questionable out there. But Mike has done it on the backbone of his streaming. Like I said, he's the king of stream. That's what he's built his empire on. And I remember the early talks we had when you were asking me to talk to Corey at Bowl Expo and talk, hey, can I get 5 minutes of your time? And then 30 minutes go by, and I was like, I knew it was going to be 5 minutes. I'm like, that guy can talk. Let me tell you what. But you talked about a lot of ideas and, things you could do for Brunswick, what Brunswick could do for you. And I'm glad we're partnering up with the New Mexico Open here, and Brunswick's getting involved. Mike, congratulations on the new center. That's going to be exciting for you. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on, and you guys have a lot of great things. We have 4 individual success stories, all different walks of life. Obviously, a couple of New Yorkers here, but we don't hold it against you too much, Phil.
Are you guys going to be at Expo, at Bowl Expo? Mike and Mike? No?
I'm a no.
I don't think so.
Now.
Not this year. Yeah, and I'm a no too. Unfortunately, it's just too much going on here at the center, and trying to get things sorted out. All
right. Well, we'll cross paths again soon, I hope.
Absolutely.
Let us know what we can do, and maybe when it gets closer, we'll just shoot us a note. We'll pimp the tournament for you again. Yeah. As it gets closer. When is it again?
Thank you.
I'm kind of thinking of something here. I pulled this Brunswick Crown shirt off right here that because we print all the great Brunswick brands, and then I heard you say King of Stream, and we've got the King of Swing right here.
Yeah, we do.
So maybe Mike and I need to get some crowns made up for this event, since we're both kings of something. Right?
That's right. Yeah, so walk around with that. Yeah. I should put them on and walk around with them all day at the place.
With Brunswick here. I don't know. I think we got something there.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a great idea.
You got to make those shirts. Print them up.
Put them up. Good to see.
One of one for Flanagan. One of one for Fagan with the Argyle print, of course.
That's right. The Argyle print. Forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah, I don't hear Phil giving you any flack for a New Yorker wearing Argyle. You don't mention that.
I moved before he did that, or else I would have.
Because I guys were still talking about it, so it worked, I guess.
That's absolutely right. That's right. I left New York in '88, so.
Oh man! All right.
All right, everybody. Yeah, thank you so much. And if anybody wants to sign up for the tournament, go to 10pinsmore.com or newmexicoopen.org and sign up for the tournament. We hope to see you out there. We look forward to getting together with some people I haven't seen in a long time.
That'd be great. And good luck to both of you guys. We'll see you again. Thank you for coming on.
It will be a well-run tournament, and you got all the nuts and bolts in place to make it a great event. So congratulations, you guys, and look forward to watching it, hopefully in person.
And shoot me a note when it gets closer. We'll get out and talk about it again.
Yeah, whenever the dates are, just shoot them an email.
You know when they are. See you guys.
See y'all.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
All right. That went well. We had guests on. There was no interruptions.
I'm telling you, it worked out great.
Got the Woo box.
Let's do the Woo box again. Let's talk about that.
You want to bring the thing in? Because we got 10 minutes left for the Woo box, but everybody knows how that works. How many entries we got, by the way? I've been kind of just focused on the conversation here.
Put your name in the Woo box, and we'll pick a name in a little while. The entries are going to close in 10 minutes. We still have a few things to talk about on the show. And then at the end of the show, we'll pick a name. Nick will pick the name, and we'll spin the wheel. If you let us know in 90 seconds, you get a chance to win a prize. If you don't like it, we'll spin it again. So we already spun the wheel. We don't do another spin. Oh, a slow spin. Chamay. So
231 entries already for that thing. That's crazy.
That's pretty good.
I say we do the top 5 first, and then we'll get into the balls.
Yeah, let's do the top 5 because yeah, exactly. This was fun making this top 5.
Let's do that. Let's add. I don't know why it does that.
There we go. Top 5 things you never hear at Nationals. We were just there, and I didn't hear this one time when I was there.
None of these things.
None of these things. None. Number 5. I wish they allowed re-entries.
Yeah, you never heard that. Especially after
never heard that. Event. Tell you what, when I got done bowling, I had no idea where to stand, and I had just bowled 9 games. I wouldn't know if I would have done anything different.
Yeah,
that would have worked.
Good.
A lot of times you leave and go, man, I should have tried that. I tried everything.
Yeah, no, that was it. That's how I felt after day 1. I just wanted to get back to the room, shower, and get something to eat.
Off
actually, we ended up at that little casino after
you guys you did.
Bell. Yeah.
I know.
But
number 4.
Number 4.
It was fun. I can't wait till next year.
I didn't hear that. Not once. Not at all.
There was a lot of expletives at the end of the day.
I don't think Reno's going to be an upgrade from Baton Rouge. I just got a feeling.
I tell you. Well, here's what I look at. It can't be worse. Or can it?
It can. It really can. And here's the other thing. If my flight to Reno is going to be another $750 like it was a couple years ago,
yeah,
not going to like that.
No. But you're committed. Somewhat. Number 3. I wish my home center put this shot out for league. Apparently, according to Chad, people want to bowl on that. So I think everybody should petition their home center to put that pattern out. Once you get wind of what it is, have your guy put it out and go bowl on it every day for a year and see if you improve.
Yeah, right.
Because then when you go bowl on a house shot, you'll be terrible.
Yeah, right. Because you'll have no confidence left.
Exactly.
You'll quit.
Number 2. Yes, I would like a $10 hot dog. I went up and got a pretzel and a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And it was
you had to take it on consignment.
I'm telling you. And here's the other thing. They didn't take cash.
Right. It was all cashless. And that probably irked you the most.
That pissed me off. You have no idea how that pisses me off.
See, I like the fact that they had actually Dr. Pepper. But what I didn't like was that the Dr. Pepper cans were $4.
It was $4 for that. And it was $7 for a pretzel.
Jeez.
So, I only won $30 in brackets the one day, and I had to spend half of it on a Coke and a pretzel.
Right. All right.
And the number one thing you never hear at Nationals.
They were way too easy.
They're way too easy. They were way too easy. You don't hear that.
No.
Unbelievable. No. So,
no.
But we did have a good time with the boys.
I do want to. I want to rant about something about in their rules for their video policy.
Oh,
for the USBC Open Championship, no video, nothing of that sort. Here's my contention is for 99.99% of the bowlers out there, you could put a how-to video on how to play this pattern and how to break it down as a team, what balls to throw, what type of bowling balls, how you should transition in and how to score the best. You could put out that video step by step at the beginning of the tournament, and the average of the tournament would not change.
Absolutely.
They would still shoot, 2,300s. I saw a 1,700 this weekend or this last week. I saw countless low scores. Get this, we shot 2850 something as a team.
You guys both good.
We were in the top 200 before we left the building that night.
That's amazing.
Now it's probably like in the mid 200. I don't know what it's at, but 2850 minus 150 sticks, and we were in the top 200 teams. We didn't feel like we bowled good. Actually, I take that back. Dom bowled one of the best 560 series I've ever seen in my life.
That was unbelievable. That was unreal.
He hit the pocket so much in that last game and did not strike once.
Right.
It's like the 7-bagger that never was. That's what it was.
It's just unbelievable. And every year the average of the whole tournament between 169 and 172. Every year, no matter what they put out.
Yep. But I did pay for the video for the team and the singles and doubles. I did pay for the service so I can have the content. And to make it even better, I brought my wireless mic and I'm able to record right to my mic pack. So I'm going to overlay when I get the video. And
so you had that on when we were talking?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're right. Yeah. Wait for that tap on your shoulder, Phil. Yep. I was wearing a wire, as they say.
You wearing a wire, huh? You could end up in the desert.
I know. I was undercover.
I didn't realize you were wired.
I was wired, man.
At one point, I walked down to Nick, and Nick was struggling that one game. He had X's and O's, and I know a lot of people aren't going to get this because it's an older crowd that would have to understand it. But if you get it, just put a note in the comment box. I walked up and then said Paul Lynn to block. That's all I said. He had no idea what that meant. So that's all I said.
I'm glad you're aware that your references fall on deaf ears most of the time because they're so outdated.
Somebody's going to get it. Somebody will get it in the chat.
Yeah.
That's all I said. Yeah. All he had was X's and O's. So let's talk about some bowling balls.
Spoiler alert. I had 5 splits game 1 of doubles. I didn't pick up any of them.
And I asked him if he paid. Did you pay to record this?
Yeah, good money.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. So, I asked someone like, "Hey,
somebody got it. Look, Hollywood Squares. Paul Lynn to block."
We got a few people that are over 50 and 60 years old, so they got
There's a lot more than that. So anyway, let's talk about a ball we're coming out with in I don't even know what month.
August. That's when the New Mexico Open's coming out.
That's right.
On that same time frame.
When is that tournament? So anybody, we always get people saying, when are you going to build some of the balls, the other balls? And we couldn't build this ball for the longest time because of the balance hole that was built in the drill sheets was based on balance holes. Mm-hmm. This is one of Mo's best designs ever.
Forever.
It
broke the Bowler's Journal rating.
It did. It was the first ball in the 60s. And we really struggled to bring it back because we really never had the right combinations without changing the core design. Then it wouldn't be a guru with the cover stocks. And since most of it was based on drilling balance holes to change the way the ball rolled, we struggled. So in the last year, I've been fiddling around with cover stocks and additives and trying to say, I want to make this ball come back. It rolled so good. It was fantastic. We loved what it did. What are we going to do to fix it? We figured out how to get a cover stock that worked. And the HK22 Solid C, the cohesion one, it matched up perfectly with what we're trying to create with this ball. If you remember the Guru, for those that do remember it, it had it hooked a lot. It was the highest hooking ball at the time, but it was a sweeping motion, which means it was very continuous. The problem with it was if you put some of the stronger drill patterns in it, we had a weaker cover stock on it, so you could put a stronger drill pattern with the balance hole and it wouldn't roll forward. But now, since you can't put a balance hole, the ball is not going to roll forward because you're not going to blow up the differentials. One of the beauties of it is the intermediate diff is 018. It's pretty high, but the total diff is low.
Yeah.
And that's what made the Guru what it was. And that's why we could fiddle around with balance holes. Now that we have better cover stocks, we didn't have to worry about the balance holes. So we're excited about this one. The guys threw it, and it is a Guru.
I'm looking at the numbers after drilling because they had to change it because all the old sheets for these had balance holes in
Right,
them.
exactly.
You can blow up the intermediate diff without using a balance hole at 035.
Yeah, see, that's the key. I don't have that drill sheet in front of me.
And 059 on the total diff, so you can blow it up 15 points
without a balance
and almost double your intermediate. That's crazy.
035. Think about that. So if you want a ball that has a short, quick hook window, you're going to get a lot of hook out of it down lane. It's going to happen all at once. That's with the 035 intermediate diff. You know, so you almost doubling the intermediate diff. More than double. Yeah,
it's going to be a welcome addition at the end of summer there.
Absolutely right.
Maybe we can use it at the New Mexico Open.
Which is when?
I think it was August 14th, actually, starting on August 14th to the 17th.
Exactly right. So that's one of our newest editions. You guys getting a sneak peek at it.
Yep, just a sneak peek. We'll talk about it more in depth as it gets closer to launch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we got another one for you.
So the first snapshot was very angular. It was with the HK22 on it. It was a skid flippy ball. And some of the people told us that, well, you know, it goes through the break point for some bowlers. We got guys that love this ball. A lot of people love it for the motion that it is. And one of the things people fall into the trap is they buy a ball and then don't use it what it was meant for. You know, this was an angular ball, hence the name Snapshot. What we did here was I took that HK22C and I put an additive in it, made it HK22C plus and hybrid. Now what happens is it reads the pattern a little bit sooner. And it doesn't miss the spot for some people that complained about it. The other problem we had with the first one, not that it's a bad ball, but people bought it and tried to make it do what it wasn't meant to do. They were trying sanding it, and then when you sanded it, it wanted to roll forward. Okay, so over here we put a better cover stock on it, and notice the finish. Please notice that 500 3000. That's very rare that we ever do that. We dialed this one in. We were at the lanes for quite a while, fiddling with the surfaces on a ball to get it right. And 500 3000 put enough teeth underneath the polish, or not the polish, the smoother surface to be able to hit the spot the right way. So we tweaked the cover stock a lot, and then we tweaked the finish. So this is a different version. It's a complement to the other one. You know, the other one was meant to go long and flip. This one's going to read the mids a little bit easier, but still have that back end motion.
Someone wants to know, why is it the same colors as the power hitter? I can assure you, these two did not look anything alike.
They're not even close. Not even close. So,
well, I mean, it's got a little orange in it, so maybe you got a little deal on the orange color.
Yeah, we got a deal. We got a discount on the orange before the tariffs.
All right, let's get into some July releases. We got
July.
Hammer Anger. Snarl. That's more of a snarl. It's sort of a hammer.
Yeah,
snarl.
That's true.
Yeah, so this has modified Infamous core and the RG. Take note of that one, Phil. 2.567 RG.
I know it.
Performance ball. That is high RG.
High RG ball.
049. That's a pretty strong differential. That's up there. So this is going to be in that benchmark range of motion.
So it's gonna get down the lane.
It's gonna get down the lane. It's gonna be smooth, non-HK cover. It's Semtex solid finish, 500 2000. Very usable grit. And I got questions all the time about, oh hey, well we just came out with Hammerhead. You know what's up with Anger? Why would you come out with this one a few months later? And the differences between the RGs. So if you were just to take them on that account, you know the cover stocks are a little different, but this one gets down the lane a lot easier. I think this would be better if, you know, you like to play, you know, that down and in shot. You know, you want to play him straighter. Maybe you don't have the ball speed to get the ball through the front as much, but you still want a control ball. This is where this ball fits in. I think the RG does matter. I know Mo. It is his birthday today. God rest his soul.
It is. It is his birthday.
He always said RGs didn't matter. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they don't. But when you're comparing apples to apples and the RG is the only difference, I do see a difference between Anger and Hammerhead.
Well, again, remember when Mo said that everything was based on balance holes.
I mean, he had that. It's blurry times for me because we did so much content together.
Sure.
You know, just like when we do the radical rundowns, we just knock out a bunch of them all at once and go through them all. So, you know, when I brought up the RG topic question one time, and he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna like my answer."
Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna like the answer.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, just say it anyway. So.
Yeah. So the RGs, you know, when you had balance hose, you actually changed the RGs too when you with the holes, and you know everything would change. They didn't matter as much because the impact was blowing up intermediate and total diffs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now that we have better cover stocks, the RGs matter a little bit.
This is a great question. Why is there always such a big RG difference between 14 and 15 pounds? I can answer that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because the core, the inner core, is the same. Okay. Right. So in order to change the weight, you can do one or two things, right? You can make the outer core material less dense to get your weight out. And that's going to swing the RGs around. So another option is to take the same core, but use a little bit less density to get the overall weight if making the outer core is not available. So it just depends on the volume of the core. So there are two ways around it, but typically you'll see the RGs go up on cores when you get to a lighter weight. So you have to use lighter material, and the core is less prevalent. You know, it's going to be less dense in most cases. So that's the only way. Bowling ball is the same size. 8 pounds, 6 pounds, 16 pounds, they're all the same size. Yep. So the density. You are my density.
You are my density.
Yep. Oh, the ball that everybody's got their eye on.
Beautiful. So I saw your picture with you with the bubble.
Yeah. Well, did you see the one I got now for the anger coming out tonight?
No, hadn't seen it.
Oh no. Yeah, you got to see that one.
All right, I have to look.
Yeah, so bubblegum vibe. So this is going to fit in between the ocean vibe and the Arctic vibe. So pearl version, shiny ball, and same core, no changes there. 2.51 RG differential 042. I mean, vibes have been around for 20 years now, something like that. Obviously hot pink. It's going to catch some eyes. The Arctic vibe was very popular for Hammer. Sales wise and performance, a lot of ball for the money. That's what always everybody says about vibes is, wow, you get so much performance.
Absolutely, that is a performance for the money. But you know, interestingly enough, you're not gonna have trouble finding this ball in the rack.
No, absolutely not. This ball is so bright, and people always say, oh, that ball's gonna look so dirty after a few throws. And maybe the centers I bowl in just aren't filthy or whatever, but like my bowling balls stay pretty clean. And you also have Clear Magic.
Clear Magic, the pant-based ball cleaner, brought to you by Hammer. Clear Magic. Look for it at a pro shop near you.
Clear Magic.
Clear Magic.
But yeah, Vibe comes out, ironically, on 7/10 day.
So perfect.
Isn't that right?
That's a bad day to release a bowling ball, 7/10.
Yeah, well.
Could be worse if it's 5/10.
Well, I think that, that you're acknowledging it, it takes away the jinx, right?
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. All right, next ball. We're getting into something strong.
That's pretty strong. Yeah.
Entity.
Intermediate diff.
Yep. 020 intermediate, 052, and a medium RG 2.51. Unique core. Look at that core design, Phil. Looks like.
I know it.
It looks like a Lego piece. It kind of looks like a Lego, or somebody took, like those air hockey pucks or whatever, and they put them on the outside of a slice of bread. Maybe somebody was having their lunch. They're building a bologna sandwich, and they're like, "Hey, that could be a core."
That could be a core. If they take a bite out of the top, I've done that before. Take a bite out. Look at that.
Yeah, this ball is bright colored. You see this one? If you're starting to see videos pop in there, and you're going to see some more photography come out on this stuff. This is a bright looking bowling ball. You are not going to miss this one either.
Nope. That's another ball you'll see on the rack.
Strong, ASIM, solid, got the cohesion additive, got all the technology you could ever want. And it is not slow on the back end. This ball.
Yeah, you threw that one, didn't you?
This ball gets up and goes. So this is a fun ball to throw. If you have the ball speed and you get some oil, you can definitely throw this ball, have fun with it, move in, chase it in. Some bowling balls, they don't like that when you get on the ASIMs like that.
No, because they didn't want to roll forward when you cover too many boards. I don't think you're going to see that with this one.
Not so much. That unique core design kind of stays a little more end over end and unleashes a lot more on the back when it kind of uses its energy in the right spot of the lane.
Yeah.
So, and last but certainly not least that we're going to talk about today is the severe collision. And let me tell you that this ball breaks windshields like you wouldn't believe. We had fun. So we actually put this ball through a windshield for the promo video.
We saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bill, our videographer here, he emails all the junkyards in town, right? And is looking for, to be able to put a bowling ball through a windshield out of one of the junk cars.
Right.
And one junkyard got back to us, and we went over there and set up like 6 cameras, some slow-mo cameras, a GoPro. And then we started them all up, and then Tim was the ball thrower. He did the like the Donkey Kong throwing a barrel throw
over the head
of the car. Yep. And bullseye in the first shot. But that was fun to shoot. There was glass everywhere. People were watching, like the garage people, like that worked there. They're all
they all came out.
Came out. We gave them the ball afterwards as a memento. But going to performance on this ball, collisions have always been skid flippy.
Right.
The last one was, I believe, the Wicked collision. That was a shiny solid, so that wasn't the most flippy. But that had cohesion. That was the first Deviate ball that had cohesion, I believe. And now we got a little bit cleaner cover and still cohesion additive with the Havoc hybrid. And this ball scoots on the back. And this ball is going to be a skid flip monster. Ultra low RG, 2.46.
Yep.
Differential 052, and then mass bias.
Yeah, medium high mass bias, 19. Yep.
So a lot of skid flip out of this ball. Cover's super clean. And we got a lot of video content with this one done. We had the Brandon Bone.
How'd the two-handers like it? Did they throw it?
Cam Crow did this video. I think he did a walk and talk. So he'll be we'll be posting that video here in the next week or two.
Right.
A lot of good stuff with this ball. This ball looks good, rolls good, flips hard. And I can't wait to drop this video. It'll probably be tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure, depending on what order I feel in.
Right.
But I had a very unusual occurrence with one of the shots and how the pins carried, or didn't carry, I should say, that left me dumbfounded. So, yeah. So it's going to be a hot summer, and we're launching, obviously, what looks like a lot of bowling balls, but they're spread out.
That time of the year, because at Bowl Expo, we got to have stuff to show.
Mm-hmm.
We see a lot of shops, but the launch dates are spread out.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not like we haven't come out with 6 bowling balls in a month before.
No.
When we announce them all at once, it seems like overkill, but in order to get them in the catalog, in order to get them for Bowl Expo, that's how it's done. So obviously the URD on the August balls, which we'll talk about, later in another show after we get back from Bowl Expo and all that stuff. Towards the end of July, we'll talk about those and get closer to the URD and talk about all the other stuff that's coming out in August. Your balls, we'll get into a little more deep dive. We can
we'll have the Throwbot videos, and
we'll bring Steve back on, and he can
absolutely
maybe he could do some fun science experiments on the Guru core.
Kids. Yep, exactly. Yeah, because I'm sure he knows all about that one. We're not doing a show next week, are we?
Oh, you're in Bowl Expo, aren't you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I had such a good time, and Mike Flanagan's free. Maybe I'll just ask him.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe we'll just replace you. That's great.
You could do that.
Wouldn't be hard.
Yeah, we don't want to try to do it from the show.
Yeah. Wes, there's not a Brunswick ball on this release schedule. There is. Phil only wanted to talk about the August balls from Radical. Just kind of give a sneak peek on those. There are 2 Brunswick balls coming out in August. We just released the Ethos Solid in June. Yeah, so this month. So it just came out. So we will talk about those another time. And so let's find a question for Phil to answer. Or if you just want to talk maybe another story about Baton Rouge a little bit, and I can go pick a winner, and then we can wrap up.
Baton Rouge. I do want to. I'll talk about some of the new balls that we had out already. The Power Hitter and the No Doubt Solid, how well they're doing. It's a pleasant surprise to watch the No Doubt Solid go down the lane after the No Doubt. The No Doubt Solid reads the mids a little bit sooner. That's a good compliment. Victor Valadez on my team has been striking like crazy with the No Doubt. And Victor loved the conspiracies. So, he's it was a little tough to get that out of his hand. But I tell you what, he's been striking a lot with this ball because he's able to go a little straighter with it. And the hook window's a little longer. So No Doubt Solid is a good addition. Then it goes right to the power hitter from it. And I'm only talking about real life experiences. This is not somebody like, doing a video and trying to promote a ball. He's footballing in league. The power hitter, for those that like the original hitter, the power hitter is a little bit stronger mid lane because it's a hybrid. And don't forget the difference between the original hitter and the power hitter is the cover stock. That was pre HK22 on the hitter, and now the power hitter has HK22 on it. So there's a big difference in the two cover stocks. So both are doing well, and they both fit pretty nicely in the bag. So
why does Nick hate the OG No Doubt? So I've been doing these top category videos, and someone said, "Oh, what do you got against Radical? You don't have Radical in any of these videos." And I was like, "That's not true. I had the Zigzag Solid and the Heavy,
right.
And I had the Torpedo Direct Hit and the Dry."
Right.
And he's like, "Why do you have no love for Radical?" I was like, "Well, for one, Phil's check bounced, so we had to boot all those bowling balls off the top list."
That's what it is. I knew there was a reason.
Of course, there's always a reason.
Nice.
But no, like I go back and remember these lists are my own lists. These are balls that I personally use the most and that I had the most success with. I'm not going to like every ball. I'm not going to, and I use them in league. I've used every single ball that I've drilled in like the last year or so. And I use them in league right after because I want to see how it works in competition.
Sure.
Get out of the 6-lane house, go try them out, see how I score. And some are great in the 6-lane house, and then maybe I struggle at the House of Pain. And some maybe I struggle a little bit in the 6-lane, and all of a sudden at the House of Pain is great. And sometimes I do well both places, or I love it both, and that's usually the bowling balls that make the bag.
And you have to understand that. We have a line of bowling balls. It's not one ball. Not every ball works. I can count on my one hand how many times I've drilled the ball and said, I can't throw that. I mean, how many times I've used that ball. Doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean it's not available and somebody else it works for. So, and a lot of league bowlers, no offense to them, but they don't throw it as good as Nick. Their rev rate's not as high as Nick's.
That's dwindling by the day. There's more league bowlers with more revs now.
I understand, but what I'm saying is that the guy that looks for hook in the right spot, that may not work for somebody like Nick. So that's why, and I don't want to go to Olive Garden anymore. So I think that's going to affect the ball ratings.
I think it is. I think I'm going to be a little bit harder on the Radical balls when I talk about them. It's like, you know what? Mm-hmm. I just don't feel like family when I'm throwing this ball very much.
No, and you shouldn't because we're never doing that again.
My strikes should be unlimited like my breadsticks, but they're not. And that's what I'm going to do on the next review for Radical. It's all going to be Olive Garden puns.
Right, exactly. Perfect. Did you pick a winner?
I sure did.
Is it Miguel from New York?
It's not.
Oh, man. I'm trying for you, Miguel. I'm trying. I don't even know if he's in the show. He didn't come in and say anything, so we don't know if he's here this week.
He was here in the beginning.
Was he? Yeah. Well,
you got your timer out? You got your timer?
I'm gonna get my clock.
That's the nicest thing Phil has ever said to you. It's probably true, actually. It's probably true.
It is true. All right, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Ready? Is everybody ready? We got 347 people ready.
Wow, 347 is in the
344. We just scared them away. All right, ready? Here we go. Winner this week, or the potential winner this week, is Eric Stapleton. Not to be confused with the country singer Eric Stapleton. This is Eric Stapleton.
And the clock is going.
Clock is
90
running.
seconds, Eric. Let us know you're here. And then 343 people will be rooting against you as they would like their chance for the Miguel Whammy to come up.
Eric is a whammy candidate. Let's see.
Miguel. The Miguel Whammy Hall of Fame.
Eric, where are you at?
Come on,
I see
Eric.
him. I see him. I see him. He's
him?
here. I see him.
How do you know that's
Superman.
him?
I don't know.
All right.
Should I ask him what his middle initial is?
No, I think we got it.
You think that's him? Maybe he changed his name really quick.
He did. He did. All right, Eric. We're gonna give you the spin. If you like what you the prize, just say I like it. If not, you let us know right away, and we'll give you another spin. Don't forget, there's a whammy.
There it is. Yep. If you get the whammy, thank you for playing. We're gonna draw
You need
another
to
name.
change that. It's not the winner of a giveaway. It's the contestant.
Okay, I'll change it. I'll change it next time if we get a whammy. How about that?
All right, perfect.
All right, here we go.
Here
Good
we
luck,
go.
Eric. This is for all
Good
the
luck.
monkeys.
For all the monkeys in the barrel. Here he comes.
Big bucks, no
bucks.
whammies.
No, here it
Oh, triple tote.
Tote.
Oh,
Nice.
no, yeah,
gift.
it's on triple tote. Yep.
Triple tote. Triple tote. What do you
What do
think,
you
Eric?
say, Eric? Is triple tote good enough? Or are you gonna risk all
Risk
the
it
glory, all
Go
the
for
glory of Rome
3-ball arsenal.
for another spin? Are you gonna
Or
take the tote and throw it away,
take the tote and go on your way.
or take the tote
And throw it away.
and go on your way? Yeah, he says he's gonna take it. All right,
Beautiful. Good choice. Good choice.
makes
You know
my
why?
life easy.
Because
we're gonna spin it again.
anyway to show you what you would have got behind door number 2.
This is what you would have got had you tossed it aside. Just because we like to do it. You've already committed, so we want to see. And it stops.
It's at the oh my God, Eric. Eric.
It would have been a 3-ball arsenal,
Oh
Eric.
my
Why would
God,
you
Eric.
why would you throw that
do
away?
that?
Why
would you do that? Why didn't you know it was going to be a 3-ball arsenal? Eric goes down in the annals of spinning history.
That's a bigger whammy. He's like, I'm good. We're just teasing you, but I mean, that's the luck of the draw there.
You probably wouldn't have won it anyway because it would have been a time difference and there would have been the earth spinning in a different direction or something.
Hey, someone says, why do we do that to him? We do it to everybody. If they take the first gift, we're gonna.
We always do that. We show them what they would have got or not.
Yeah, they did that.
I wanted to leave here with the feeling that I made the wrong decision again.
Well, congratulations, Eric. I will reach out to you after the show with the email and get your address for the triple tote because you're gonna get a radical triple tote.
The triple totes are nice. They
are nice.
They hold 3 balls, don't they?
They do. Yeah.
It's the name. Triple.
Yep. All right. Hey, this is a great show.
It was a great show. We had guests and they survived and it's good. And look for that tournament at
Rio Rancho in New Mexico.
Rio Rancho, New Mexico.
When is that tournament, Phil? When is that
November?
tournament?
I think it was November.
Okay, yeah. August 14th through the 17th.
17th.
Don't worry, I got you.
Maybe Nick will go to it.
I might look into it. All right,
You're probably both good on that.
When they post the pattern, I'll let you know.
Are they going to post a pattern?
Yeah, that's what they said. So that people,
Yeah, good.
It says the pattern will be challenging. Pattern will be posted before folks travel in order for participants to bring the correct equipment. See, I'm hoping to only take 2 bowling balls with me, maybe 3. 1 3-ball tote. That's it.
Good. 2 purple hammers.
2 purple hammers and a black hammer.
A black hammer. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
As long as the gutter's playing, you'll be okay.
As long as I don't have to move my feet off the gutter, and turn my brain off and strike. That's all I need.
That's it. Perfect.
All right. That's it.
No show next week, guys. I'm sorry. We'll be at Bowl Expo. Be sure to come and visit if you're in town. If you can stop by the booth, I'll give you a pen or something.
Wow, a pen.
A pen.
Congratulations.
I'm sure there'll be pens. I don't know.
You're just handing out all sorts of whammies while you're out there. Congrats.
What I gave away today. Could have gave away the big prize today, Eric.
Ooh, all right.
All right, guys. We'll see you 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And
perhaps.
Have a good 4th of July.
We'll have to talk about that. I might have to do it remotely because I'm actually going to be vacationing. We'll see.
Didn't you just have vacation?
Yeah, I did, but it was with you, so it's kind of more like work.
All right.
I'll let you know.
Do it remotely. I don't want to skip that many weeks in a month. We'll lose all our loyal fans.
We'll get them back. We'll get them back.
It'll be a lot of hard work.
Yeah, that never scared us.
We'll see you guys. Thanks, Nick. I'll talk to you later.
See you.